Hey, it's Tuxedo Mark. It's 5:27 p.m. on Saturday, April 13th, 2024, and I want to show you the latest stuff I got. Oh, hang on. One thing I forgot. All right. So this I got yesterday, I believe. Thrift store. Avalon Web of Magic, Book 4, The Secret of the Unicorn by Rachel Roberts. This is a YA series, or maybe even just a kids, like middle grade series. It's from the early 2000s. Now, here's the thing Scholastic was the original publisher. They didn't finish publishing all of the volumes. It's a 12-book series. I already read all of it digitally. But I read the revised editions. The revised editions have like actual drawn cover art instead of this Photoshop covers that the Scholastic editions had. And they also revised the text. I'm guessing to update the pop culture references and the technology, stuff like that, I'm guessing. Um, but I found this and I thought, cool, it's the original edition from April 2002. So I figured, just for fun, I can compare this to the digital editions and see what the differences are. I know there was an Avalon Web of Magic review blog, but I don't know if the author of that blog documented all of the differences between the original editions and the revised editions. So I just figured I'd do that for fun. All right, so now stuff from today. I stopped at Goodwill and I found some movies. And when I brought them up to the counter, the cashier asked me if I wanted to open them up and check the discs before I bought them. They had tape across them. I'm like, oh sure. I didn't know if I was allowed to do that. So she cut the tape on all of these. And I ended up putting three of the movies back because they were so scratched up. But here's the thing: I looked up every single one of them. I left the line and I looked up every single one of them to see if they're streaming anywhere. And the ones that are streaming, I didn't get because they had like scratches on them, thumbprints. Um, some of them had dust on them. But anyway, got Spectacular. It's a Disney, or not a Disney, a Nickelodeon original movie. Stars Victoria Justice, who I know from Victorious. I have started watching that series. It's got Ariana Grande in it, but I haven't finished it. But I was watching both that and iCarly. I don't really like iCarly. It seems, I don't know, too dumb. But I like Victorious, so I figured, hey, this movie has Victoria Justice in. I'll check it out. Um, these movies did not cost much. All right, so then we got ECA with Emma Stone. It's about a girl that's not very popular or anything, but then the high school rumor mill kind of she basically uses it to advance her social standing. Um, so yeah, and it's got, let's see, Amanda Bynes, Malcolm McDowell. Uh, So yeah. Oh, Lisa Kudrow, Stanley Tucci. Okay, cool. All right. A comedy about a good girl, a small favor, and a big rumor. I know she played Gwen Stacy in the Adam Garfield Spider-Man films. I didn't watch those films because I knew she dies at the end of the second one. Hey, Donald, thanks for joining me. And finally, got Spice World. I am sort of kind of a Spice Girls fan. And what I mean by that is I reviewed a Cheryl Blossom comic book for my Archie review blog. And they basically, it was a story from like 1999, and they basically parodied the Spice Girls, and Cheryl joined the group and stuff like that. So, as research for my blog post, I looked into the history of the Spice Girls, and I started listening to some of their songs. I mean, I had already heard "Wannabe." You can't escape that. But I was never really like into the Spice Girls. So apparently, this is like a. This originally came from Walmart in November of 07. And the sticker on the front says, "The Spice Girls are back just in time for their world reunion tour, duly remastered and repackaged." Okay, so special features, bonus musical performance, Mama, and theatrical trailer. It's 93 minutes long. I saw James Rolfe's like review of this, the rental reviews that Cinemassacre does, or did at least, and the movie seems like something, definitely. Special features for Spectacular. It's got 4 spectacular behind-the-scenes featurettes, plus 2 hot new music videos, Everything Can Change and For the First Time. And ECA, gag reel, Emma Stone's audition footage, and commentary with director Will Gluck and Emma Stone. Cool. All right. And finally, I stopped at a different thrift store today, and I got Nancy Drew Girl Detective, number 18, Pit of Vipers. So, if you know from my previous videos, you'll recall I bought some Nancy Drew books previously, like 2 different kinds of series. I bought a whole bunch of volumes of the original Nancy Drew from a thrift store, like super cheap. I think they were like 10 cents each or something like that. And I started reading the first one, and the language was so antiquated. I know that the books have been revised. I don't know what year that these were from, maybe 2000. The copyright might have been from 1980s. I don't know. But here's the thing. It just seems so outdated. Now, I got different Nancy Drew series from Dollar Tree for like, $1.33 each. They were like super thin, and they were aimed at really small kids. I read one of them. It was about a missing ice cream recipe. So girls have this big adventure trying to figure out who stole their ice cream recipe, and it turns out it just fell out of one of the girls' book bags because it was unzipped. Yeah. So I read that one, and I gave it away to a little free library, and I think I might have given the other ones away too without reading them because they were just too kiddie for me. But I recently got a different Nancy Drew series from Dollar Tree. I believe it's Dollar Tree. Yeah, that might be a bit better. I haven't read them yet. And this one I got from a thrift store. Nancy Drew Girl Detective. What year is this from? 2006, July. So this one might be good. Maybe. We'll see. It is, how long is it? Bunch of blank pages in the back. I don't know why. Why are there blank pages in the back? Anyway, 145 pages. So, yeah. That's about it. I just wanted to share that with you. And on May 18th, next month, on Saturday, I'm going to a movie theater in a different city for a special screening, a 40th anniversary screening of the Transformers cartoon series from the 80s. They're screening the first 4 episodes of the show. I believe those are More Than Meets the Eye parts 1, 2, and 3, and Transport to Oblivion. Yeah, so I'll be watching the G1 Transformers cartoon series on the big screen. I wonder how that's going to look, because these were on videotape. The broadcast masters are on videotape. Videotape is limited to standard def. If you try to blow it up, it looks pixelated and stuff. So I'm not sure how this is going to look on the big screen. Maybe they use like some kind of upscaling or something. I don't know. But I hope they don't use the film versions. Okay. Bit of backstory. The current Shout Factory DVDs are the second release of the Transformers cartoon series on DVD. It was originally released in the early 2000s by Kid Rhino. Now, here's the thing that Kid Rhino did, and it's not really their fault because they didn't know, but they found the Transformers cartoon episodes on film, and they were like, "Oh man, Transformers is going to look better than it ever has," because film is basically it's high def compared to videotape. Here's the thing, though. Those were not the finalized versions of the episodes. They were work prints. So when it went to making the broadcast masters, they fixed a bunch of errors from the work prints before the episodes aired on television. Now, by putting these work prints out on DVD, Kid Rhino basically introduced to the public a whole bunch of errors that were never meant to be seen by the public. They also took it upon themselves to fix some things that they perceived as errors, but weren't. And also, they hired a separate company because they wanted to make like I don't know if it was just a stereo track, or I think it might have been 5.1 actually. So which the cartoon series was originally in mono, okay? So it wasn't meant to be like 5.1 surround sound. But they hired a separate company that basically came in and put in a whole bunch of extra sound effects that were never part of the original series. And Kid Rhino tried to cover this up when fans confronted them. They were basically like, although sound effects were always there, it's just that before our remaster with to bring it all out, people couldn't hear them. Yeah, no. Uh, but anyway, so apparently later on, when Shout Factory got the rights to do Transformers on DVD, they still had to use uh, the work prints for whatever reason, because apparently the broadcast masters were in too poor condition to use, supposedly. Although I think Transformers Wiki says for certain episodes they did use the broadcast master. But anyway, they had to go through and try to fix the stuff that was meant to be fixed from the broadcast masters to make it look as close as possible to from the workprint to the make it look as close as possible to the broadcast master. They might or might not have always succeeded in that. One thing that I noticed, some fans point out to Brian Ward, who was the producer at Shout Factory that produced the DVD set, that apparently more than meets the eye, the closing credits sequence originally aired with different animation. It had its own closing animation compared to the rest of season one. But the DVD set just uses the standard season one closing animation, even on the pilot episodes. Another thing that I noticed, this was on the Shout Factory, on the Kid Rhino set, and apparently it was just copied onto a Shout Factory set. In season one had a much smaller voice cast. When season two came about and they introduced all those new characters and stuff, they also hired more voice actors. And the voice cast was a lot longer. Now, for some reason on the DVD sets, you'll see season one episodes where in the closing credits sequence, you can tell it's the season two credits that are laid over the season one closing footage, because the cast list includes voice actors that wouldn't join the cast until season two. Yeah, that has no basis in reality. I don't know what the deal is. My only guess is because they had to use the work prints and might not have had the closing credits on them, so they probably had to try to recreate the closing credits. And I guess maybe they just copied it straight out from the Kid Rhino sets. I don't know. But anyway, I'm sure there are hardcore Transformers fans that have gone into detail regarding this, so you can probably look up that information if you want. But I'm still kind of curious what it's going to be like to watch these standard def episodes on the big screen. I'll let you know when I go see it next month. But anyway, that's about it, and it's 5:46 p.m. and that's it. Thanks for watching.